Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a great day. Okay, I am super excited about today's live because I'm going to be showing you 3 ways to transform your chicken leftovers. So if you were with me yesterday, I showed you my all in the oven meal prep, which is basically where I just load up my oven with a bunch of vegetables as well as some chicken thighs is what I used yesterday so that I can just roast everything all at the same time and have tons of leftovers. So I wanted to use some of those leftovers and then show you how you can really transform them to totally different flavors, totally different ways of eating the same thing so that you never feel bored with your meal prepping. So, like I said, this is all the food. I have my roasted chicken thighs, I have my roasted sweet potatoes and my roasted carrots, and then I also have these roasted broccoli and cabbage. So that's what we're working with today. So let me put you down right here. And I'm gonna go over the 3 different ways that we're gonna transform these leftovers so that they're totally different and totally yummy. Yay, and I love it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, hey Randy! The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make a really awesome and easy barbecue chicken salad. So I love this. Obviously, I live in Texas. So we use barbecue sauce all the time. That is gonna be one of our major flavor adds for this particular salad. But one of the things we also did yesterday was we just dressed a little bit of kale with some olive oil, lemon juice, and a little bit of salt and pepper. So I'm gonna take some of that and put it into this bowl. I don't know if you can see that. Put it right here. So I have a little to-go container or a little resealable container here. I'm putting a little bit of the kale right there. And I also have some leftover quinoa. So totally optional. I didn't make this yesterday. I just had it from a few days ago. So I'm just gonna put on a couple of spoonfuls of this quinoa, probably like a half a cup or so. And then we're gonna top it with some of our yummy roasted vegetables. So this is so fun because you're utilizing the exact same things that you made yesterday. So we have our roasted sweet potatoes and carrots. I'm gonna do a couple of spoonfuls of that. I love these sweet potatoes with the barbecue sauce. I think it's so delicious. Yum. Okay, so that's probably like 4 little spoonfuls here. And then we have our roasted broccoli and cabbage. I'm probably just gonna focus on the broccoli because I'm not sure that the cabbage is gonna really go with the meal. So no big deal, we'll just do what we like. So I'm gonna put on a little bit of broccoli into the bowl. And then we'll take one of these awesome chicken thighs that we previously cooked. And what's great about this is that you can have this as a warm salad, so you can just heat up this entire bowl. And then we'll take our favorite barbecue sauce, we like head country, and just drizzle that on top. And that's literally all you have to do. Ta-da! Okay. Voila! See? A really easy barbecue chicken salad that you can just keep stored in your fridge, covered with our little lid, and that's it. Now, also if you wanted to, because my kids really like corn, and I feel like corn is always like a great side for barbecue, you could put a little bit of corn. I just have canned corn here that I drained. And then we just put that on top, and then it just makes it look even better. Yum, so good. Thanks, Randy. So that's one meal done. You can have it for lunch, you can have it for dinner, but we're using all the same leftovers from yesterday, but it's a totally different flavor profile. Okay, so the next one is pretty fun. So if you like ramen bowls or anything like that, I wanted to do kind of a really quick makeshift ramen bowl. So I took one of the chicken thighs and I just shredded it here. Hey Yolanda, how's it going? Okay, so I shredded up one of the chicken thighs right here. And what I'm gonna do is, once again, I'm gonna grab a little bit of the kale that we had previously dressed, and I'm gonna just tear it into little pieces to go in our little ramen bowl salad. Ramen bowl salad. Who knows what I'm saying? No one does. No, a little bit of green in our ramen bowl is gonna look really pretty. So I definitely wanna have some of that in addition to like the awesome micronutrients that you're gonna get from the delicious kale. I love kale, I love any greens. They're so good for you. Okay, so we have that in there, and now the only other thing I'm gonna add is probably 2 things. I'm gonna add some of the carrots that we roasted yesterday. So I think carrots go really well. Obviously you could cut these up into little strips if you wanted to, but we're not gonna get that fancy today. So I'm just picking out some of the carrots here. and a little bit more. And then the next thing I'm gonna add is a little bit of the cabbage, because I feel like cabbage is such a good vegetable to put in soups because it really stands up to the heat of the broth and it doesn't lose its texture. So I really like to add that. So I'm just adding some of the roasted cabbage from yesterday in. And now for the really fun part, so this is just one addition that you can make. I'm going to be using some vermicelli noodles. So these are just really little thin noodles, kind of similar to rice noodles, and rice noodles would be another great option to put in here. So I'm just gonna throw in like a handful of these vermicelli noodles, but you could also use rice noodles. They would be perfect in here. And these are uncooked. So what's really cool is if you, say for instance, you took this with you, hey Chris, took this with you to work, like if you're going to work now, or if you are just storing this in the fridge and then you wanna have a quick lunch one day, you're gonna get this out of the fridge, and the only thing now we're gonna add is some hot, and I mean hot, chicken broth. You could also use vegetable broth, and that's what I have here. Just some really hot broth, and it smells so good. But all we're gonna do is just pour the hot broth on top of this. And I'm gonna try to do it without spilling it, but I might spill it. So just forgive me if that happens. Okay, yay, I'm doing it. Okay, so I probably added, let's see, about a cup and a half of broth. And all you're gonna do now is, if you say for instance didn't have access to a microwave, just make sure you push all of the little noodles down into the broth so it gets warmed up. You can also just put this directly into the microwave to get it completely cooked. And what's great about rice noodles is that it will cook in just hot water like this really quickly, in less than like 5 minutes. But then to give it like a super Asian feel, which I love with like ramen or anything like that, some toasted sesame oil right on top. Just probably half a teaspoon or so. And then I love to add fish sauce. So fish sauce gives it a real kind of pungent, salty, savory flavor. Not too much, probably just like 3 or 4 drops into the bowl itself. And then it's going to taste like a really awesome Asian soup with like the noodles and everything. I know it's hard to see, plus I don't want to spill this, but it smells so good. I love sesame oil because it adds so much flavor. And what's cool is that we used all the same ingredients that we made yesterday. Hey, Sandra, and look, Jen is here too, guys. It's Jenna's birthday today. Happy birthday! Okay, so that is our really easy Asian noodle soup, kind of similar to a ramen bowl, but with all the same things that we made yesterday. Now for our last one, and I'm super excited about this too, but we're gonna need a blender. So I have my handy Vitamix right here because we're gonna make a little soup out of our roasted vegetables, and I'm actually just going to focus on my roasted sweet potatoes and my roasted carrots. So I'm gonna add about, let's see, it's probably 2 cups of the roasted vegetables in there. I'm also gonna add a little bit of different flavoring by adding some cumin. So I love the flavor of cumin. I think it's so great. It's really earthy, really smoky, and I think just adding 1 spice can change the meal completely. So if you like Mexican food, they usually use a lot of cumin in that. So for me, I just adore the smell of it. So good. And then all we're gonna do is once again add some chicken broth. You could add your veggie broth as well if you wanted to use that. But we're just adding about a cup of the broth, and it's gonna make a really thick and creamy soup because we have the sweet potatoes in there. They're already cooked, as well as the carrots. It's just gonna make everything really creamy and delicious. So I'm gonna turn around and blend everything together. So give me 1 second. Also, it's gonna be noisy. So avert your ears if you need to. Okay, here we go. I think is just add a little bit more of the broth to loosen it up because I want this to be more soupy because I like a lot of broth in my soups. Okay, so I'm gonna add probably about another half a cup, and then we're gonna blend it one more time, and that should be done. But by the way, it smells so good. I can't wait for this. Okay. a really quick and easy sweet potato and carrot soup. And you can obviously add as much or as little of the broth as you want. This is still pretty thick. I mean, but still, I think it would be delicious. If you want to add more broth, then definitely go ahead. And then if you're reheating this, like say you make this today, but you end up eating it tomorrow, you can also add more broth then. So I'm going to put this in here, spread it around. It's really thick. It's kind of like if you ever have had pumpkin soup, it's kind of that kind of thickness. So that's really good. And then all I'm going to do now is, because I do like a lot of protein, so I'm going to have a little bit of this chicken thighs that I've shredded up already. Voila. I'm just going to put that on top, and like if you were going to serve this right now, I think it would look really pretty with a little bit more of that kale that we prepped yesterday. I'm just going to tear it up into little pieces as like a little garnish. So it's going to look really cute. It's going to look really fancy, but honestly, like we've been doing this for 15 minutes and we've already made 3 meals that are totally different. We have our BBQ chicken salad, we have our Asian noodle soup over here, and we have this awesome roasted sweet potato and carrot soup with some shredded chicken and kale on top. I mean, what's not to love about that? Okay, there you go. Let me show you what it looks like. Ta-da! Can you see that? See how easy that was? And it was just a great way to repurpose a bunch of the ingredients that you already made yesterday, if you were following along, or for me, repurposing a bunch of the ingredients that I already had on hand, but they're in totally different ways. You have some awesome barbecue flavor in this BBQ chicken salad. You have the awesome Asian flavor with this Asian noodle soup. And then you have that lovely earthy tones, that amazing smokiness that comes from the cumin in this roasted sweet potato and carrot soup. And then you're just topping it with some protein, which is the shredded chicken, and a little bit of that kale that we prepped yesterday. So that's it. Just looking at different flavor profiles, changing up, some of the textures that you would normally have with your roasted vegetables is a great way to add tons of interest into your leftovers and completely transform them from what you may have had the previous day. Oh, Chris said she loves pumpkin soup. Yes, this would be, okay, I think you would really like this because it's a very similar consistency, but obviously you can thin it out even more if you want to as well. So that's 3 completely different ways to transform your chicken leftovers. Personally, I am very excited about eating this, although now I have to pick which one I'm gonna eat. Gosh, the decisions, I just don't know what to do, guys. Which one should I eat first? Who knows? Okay, so what's great about all of these meals is that they could definitely be lunches and they can definitely be dinners. Or you can make, for instance, just a big batch of each of these soups and it would be awesome. It would be awesome for the entire family to try. So yeah, I just love, personally, I take great pride in transforming leftovers. So I love doing this for you guys so you can see how easy it is to just really take the same ingredients and put them in lots of different ways so that you never feel bored when you're eating your leftovers. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you're having a great Wednesday. Honestly, it's been super busy over here, so I'm just excited to sit down and have some lunch now. I mean, anyone? Okay guys, thank you so much. Tomorrow, if you have any requests for what to see during my real life meal prep week, please let me know. Honestly, I'm gonna eat one of these for lunch today. So Chris said definitely pick the soup. Okay. You had me at soup. I will pick the soup. So yeah, let me know what you want to see tomorrow. I'm not sure really yet what I'm going to do. Pretty much it's a spur of the moment decision, but I was really excited about today's one because I do love to transform leftovers. So let me know what you want to see tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day today, and I will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock Central Time. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Have a great day. Bye.